Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Baruch HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace salutations to all your Akim across the earth who doing this work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. So this video, I basically want to go into, the flesh that fights against the spirit. As you can see, you got here a picture of a pretty lady, pretty beautiful woman, beautiful female, because she's probably not a woman, you know, but she kind of looks good for the eye. So these things, as men, but also goes the other way around, for women also, especially in this society where we're in, everything is about the outward appearance, the outward appearance is being pushed more forward, than the inward, and but yeah, we as men of the Lord, we um, I say that we appreciate more a woman who who really wants to behave like a woman, So that means a female who she respects you as a man. She wants to she can cook, that's she can cook, she can clean the house, she can wash the clothes. Basically housekeeping is not a problem for her to do, to maintain. And if you got children, she take care of the children. Those are good things concerning a female. But yeah, as a man, we as men, basically you're never satisfied. You have a woman, but then you see another one, you want to have that one too. And sometimes you don't have a woman, but yeah, everything is Yahweh Ratasa, Lord willing, because sometimes the Most High just keep you from having a woman because it will bring you in problems. Some brothers, they might find a girl and then find themselves, like the scripture said, running out of the whips for a woman. You find yourself doing all kinds of stuff to please your wife. So I said that, yeah, you find yourself doing all kinds of things. Maybe you are a person that easily falls in love. And these females nowadays, of course there are a couple of good I said that, a couple of good women who really try, and try to I said that, please the Most High. You have them, but not all. Let me first jump to First Esdras. So this is the book of First Esdras, chapter 4, verse 26. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Yeah, before you know it, you become a servant for her sake. You will do anything. I said it, to try to please her. You find yourself doing anything, everything, you know, just to please her, and that's not how it's supposed to be. Let me see. Uh, first, First Esdras chapter 4, verse 26. Mm, yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. Look, man, remember, even King David. I on the moment, what was the name again of that man? He sent, he saw his wife, he saw her washing herself, and he started lusting on her. He committed adultery. He even sent her husband onto the front line, and he died over there. And he had a child with that woman, with her, and the child died. So the child had to die because of the adultery that he committed. So the flesh is weak, and it's a continual battle. I'm also gonna go into that later. But yeah, it's important to try to stay in the spirit. Especially in this time. Especially in this time, we are at the end. You can feel it by everything. These demons getting stronger. They start putting thoughts in your head. You how you say that? You think you really need a woman. You might be single. You really think you need a woman, or you got a wife. And because yeah, of course, it's lawful by the law. It's lawful for us Israelite men to have multiple women, but it's not necessarily expedient. Because these women, they are not in order. The majority of them are not in order, and for us men, the men, for vice versa, the men are also not in order, and even we, the hopeful elect, the men of the Lord who doing the works of Yahweh Basham Yahushai, be on the highways and byways, making videos, be on YouTube. Hey, even us, even we are not perfect. Even we do mistakes. And sometimes you it's important for us men, especially, don't run after women. Don't run after women. That's important. Slakia. It's important for us not to run after women. If the Most High wants to give you a woman, she might, she will come on your path. Let me take a sip of water because I had a little bit dry throat. So it is important to I say that, to keep your to don't to lose your mind. Because you easily lose your mind. You see something beautiful, you see a beautiful woman, it's easy for you to fall in love, basically, and to lose yourself and wanted to please her, and always when you got a new wife or a new girlfriend, whatever. In the beginning everything is la di da. Well, a lot of times when you got children, then the stuff change. Because she might change. 9 out of 10 times she changed, but you change also. Because she have something that you really love. Because your children, as a parent, as a father, when your child is born, you automatically love it. And vice versa. You see that the child have unconditional love for you. And the women's, because especially in this, if they are grown up in this society, they are think that they have power. Because this society of Esau, give them power, and they know that they have something that you care about, and they start playing with it. So a lot of times, those females keep the parents break up. And the woman, she used the child as a weapon. Threaten to keep him away from the father and stuff like that. A lot of females are famous for doing that. And even I know, it happened a couple of times. A friend of mine who I used to roll back with, who I used to know from back in the world. And also a nephew of mine. They had the same thing. They both had a woman. You know, from a Italian woman from Curacao, and when they broke up, the woman, she went to live on Curacao and went away with the child. And yeah, they are by this society. They can do it, and they have such a certain amount of power. It's not easy for a man to take a child away from his mother unless he can prove that she's mentally ill. And but it's going to be a long process. And but vice versa, it's easy for a woman the law of the Edomites already say, especially in the Edomites country, they already make automatically the woman leaves with the children. But according to the law of the law according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, the children of the man, and that's it's logic because we as men, you be carrying boys and girls all your life in your nutsack. These female only borrow your seed, your boy or your girl, for 9 to 10 months to nurture it, and afterwards she gave birth to it because it was already a boy and a girl when you put it in her, and it was already alive because the seed swims towards the egg. So so that cuts there, that right there, a woman she doesn't give life to a child. First and foremost is the Most High, but the seed is already alive. The seed already swims towards the egg, and it's already a boy or a girl. It only uses the woman like an oven, to grow in there, and to become strong enough, and to be born. But yeah, what I want to say is like, it's especially in this time, because if you, let's say, if you're gonna have a lot of women, it can be a mad distraction for you, especially this time. These times we need to be sharp. Things are about to change soon. They already changed a lot. In the last year, if you already see the new normal way of living, wearing face mask everywhere you go, in public places and this and that. They're busy with handing out those jabs. They're making all kind of rules. Like here in Holland, they already said, and we know they're gonna do it all over the world. Here in Holland, they already said, like restaurants and schools and companies, they are allowed to deny people if they don't take the jab. So we are heading towards those times. We know the mark of the beast is being prepared because they're really busy pushing this cashless society. They're breaking down the economics, the economy. They are breaking it down. A lot of small companies are going down. Only the things, the big companies that are basically under control by the state. Those are the companies that will stand. And but yeah, the regular business, the moms and pop stores, they are all going out of business. And that's what they already planned. They're talking about the great reset. Because they're already talking about that this virus, it sticks on money for at least a month. So on cash money. So they're already making people really afraid. Like here in Holland, before this thing broke out. They had like you could pay with your bank card touchless without touching the thing, and it was until 25 euros. Then you had to put your card in the machine and put on your bank code. But then this thing started, so they raised it up to 50 euros, and now they raised it up to 75 euros, so people can do more shoppings without touching and getting used by only like basically like swiping the hand. And that's when you have the RFID chip in your hand, you will swipe it length past a machine, and by that way you would pay. And it's funny because even before this outbreak, they had two stores, two Albert Heijns in Holland. They started with one in, I believe, in Zaandam or Haarlem. I'm not sure exactly which store it was. I made a video on it. You can check it on my channel, GMS, The Cry of the Humble. But right now, my channel is on the strike, so I can't upload there. So you find this video on GMS Holland Assembly, and that's a good channel because all the brothers are from Holland, from Great Millstone Holland, are uploading their videos on that channel. So you will find all the videos of all the brothers there. And I also upload this video on GMS Papiamento. That's also another channel that I also have. So I will upload this video also there. So, but you can check on my channel, then you can find that video for sure. That I made a video about it, about them making this. And basically it goes back to an old IBM commercial. So the thing is, what they did at the entrance of the store, you scan your bank card, and then you go inside and you take something from the shelf, and from the moment you take it from the shell, the product gets scanned, and automatically will I said it um, it will automatically take that amount of money from your account from the product that you took, and if you put it back on the shell, it will also put the money back. So when you leave the supermarket, you already have paid for your groceries, without passing by in a cashier or something. So these are the things that they are planning on. But like I said, this for us is so that shows you how serious these times are. Iran also said that they they're ready. They're busy with them with their rockets. Like a couple of weeks ago they sent a rocket with a satellite. They're busy with this nuclear plan, and they also said something about the nuclear deal that they were ready to go against it. So basically they've been prepared. Russia's making move. People are fighting against the government, even in Holland. Against the number 19 rules. All over the world basically. In what was it, in Burma, if I'm correct? In Burma, they committed a coup. The soldiers took the things over, and people are also fighting there. So you also have a division going on over there. So for us, we are at the end game. So it is important to keep your mind clear. Because if you deal with a woman, she care for the things of the world. But we as men of the Lord, we don't give a fuck about that shit. We don't care about this world. We hate this world. We want this world to go down. And we know it's going to be hard times. It's going to be harsh times. You might lose your house, your job, and hey, even your wife might leave you. Your parents might snitch you. Your wife might snitch you, because we gonna be I said it. They're gonna put us in the media as terrorists. They already have great millstones on the list of extremists. And like here in Holland, they got the AIVD. Just like the CIA. They are on our back. Our back. They wrote like 3 articles on us. Over us. On three major, two big papers, and one major online channel, basically. And so we know, and of course we know that they're watching. Because this is not normal how often they strike our channels and how many videos they've been deleting. Even one of the brothers, he cannot even put one comment anymore. Because he was cutting people with his comments, with scriptures and all that. And they just every time he had a word that he couldn't use. And now they blocked him completely from commenting. He cannot comment. Yeah, took another sip. But yeah, but like I said, so you might see this, and it likes, of course, in the beginning everything is beautiful and pretty, and you know, and before you know it, you start, and these females, they like, a lot of them, they like to play games, so you find yourself running after them. Be busy with females. And also another thing, if you got a lot of females, you cannot focus on the scriptures. You're gonna lose your focus, because if let's say if you got like three or four women, you gotta please them all through the week. They all want to see you, they all want you to lay down the pipes. And then you also gotta find times to study, to make your videos. you know you got your job, maybe you got children. So you find yourself too busy. And of course, before you know it, you're gonna please your flesh more than you're gonna work on your spirit. Before you know it, you get lost in those ditties. Things like that happen. You want to dive into those hips. Because if I see a woman like that, I'm like, yeah, she's pretty, man. She got a beautiful smile. You might want to get to know you. You want to get to know her. But yeah, it's not expedient. And let me jump to the book of First Corinthians, chapter 7, Apostle Paul wrote it, and this is the things that he wrote is just an advice. It's not by law, because it is lawful to have multiple women. Like I already said in the beginning, it's lawful, but it's not expedient. It's not expedient. It won't help you, especially in this time. It won't help you. But sometimes it might help you to have like two. Because if I reflect on myself, I think it might. I think, but of course, I as a man, you don't know yourself. The Most High knows yourself. Because sometimes you might think like, okay, if I have two women, then for me it's enough. But you might fall in love with the other woman that you take, and you find yourself skipping your first wife, or or you start in, especially, basically this is not the time to make a child, but of course everything is Yahweh. When it happens, it happens. But it's maybe you already have children, and with a wife, and you find yourself with this other woman, and before you know it, maybe you have a pull out game. You don't like robbers or whatever, or you start, because a lot of times, in the beginning you met a woman, y'all do it so-called safe, but then you get used to each other, then you don't want to use no robbers, because the feeling ain't there, stuff like that, or the things, those things don't fit, and also, it's awful. Those things fits awful. I know about that. And before you know it, you start counting a cyclist, and you think, okay, now I can bust on her. But yeah, you miscalculate, and then you make her pregnant, and that's going to create a situation, because then you have you tell your current wife, because the majority of those females, they won't accept you to have another wife, even if they know it's lawful, they won't accept it, and if you make a child with another woman, it's a bigger problem for them than if they maybe find out that you have another girl, because if you have a child, it's really in confrontation, there's gonna be a time that also maybe her family need to know, like, okay, he also got another child, there's another child involved, things like that. But like I said, it's not expedient. It's lawful, but it's not expedient. So the Apostle Paul, he gave some advice concerning dealing with women, and he also mentioned, like, it's not by law. It's only I give you advice, and he lived basically like a eunuch. He didn't touch with a woman. And some men do that because they are deep in spiritual, deep on a higher level. They are deep in scriptures, and they are deep in touch with the Most High, basically, and they don't need a woman to distract them. Every man got his office, and sometimes you want a woman, and you try everything to meet her, but it won't work. Then they also, especially as men of the Lord, we have to look to everything spiritual. Then you need to look at yourself, like, okay, maybe it's not good for me together, because if I have to do so much effort and it won't work, then it's better for me to leave that woman, because you cannot see always. Sometimes you see it in the eyes. You look at the woman, you look in the eyes, and you be like, man, this, hey, that's a goddamn demon, But you cannot always look at, sometimes girls, they look, all girls in the beginning, they act humble, and they act kind of shy and this and that. So you think, oh man, I got a humble girl. But when she get comfortable, then the demon comes out, You cannot always see that from the beginning, And of course, Yahweh to the Spirit of the Most High, we see it, But let me just read 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Now concerning the things whereof he wrote unto me, it's good for a man not to touch a woman. So that's advice of Apostle Paul, Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife had no power of her own body but the husband, and likewise also the husband had no power of his own body but the wife. Defraud you not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency, incontinency, incontinency. Because yeah, it's important, that's also a thing, sometimes, when you're fasting, and when you're fasting, it's not good to have sex when you fast, you abstain yourself from sex, and it's of course it's better, I'm not saying like if you're living with your wife and you are in the truth, or you became in the truth, that you should separate with your wife and start living, take your own house and let her have her own house, it's better. But because also concerning uncleanness, when the woman is unclean, they don't have to keep in mind, like, okay, she be sitting over there, when she's unclean, you'll be sleeping on the couch, or things like that. She can't cook your food and all kinds of stuff. And it's also important as a man. That's also a thing that my father learned me. As a man, it's important to that you can take care of yourself. That you are not. How you say that? That you don't need to depend on a woman, that you can take care of yourself. And me as a man, I can cook, I can make some fine food, I can cook, I can clean the house, I can do the dishes, I can wash my clothes, I can keep my house clean. I got no problem with those things, so and even with my current wife, she knows that. And that also kind of bothers her, because I show her, like, okay, I really don't need you, and sometimes when they get out of order, you just need to remind them, like, okay, look, man, you're not the catch. The men of the Lord, those are the catch, the elect men are the catch, Yahweh the Savior of that number. Because salvation, it starts with the man first and foremost, and then the household is going to be saved through the man, that's a fact. But yeah, of course, it doesn't mean that you got to be like a dictator in your house, you still got to be, how said it, if you don't love your wife, it's better to separate, don't stay with a person only because of children, because that's also a thing that people do often, but it won't work eventually, but you cannot just put your wife away because she had an argument, or an argument. That's also a thing. Back to the book of First Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 5. Defraud you not one the other, except it be with consent for a time. Wait, I already read it. Verse 6. But I speak this by permission and not of commandment. So he shows us, like, this is an advice, this is not a commandment. For I would that all men were even as myself, but every man had his proper gift of Yahweh, one after this manner and another after that. Yeah, not every man is the same. For some men function better if they got a couple of women. I remember back in the days I had multiple wives, and the thing was, I had multiple girlfriends, and I loved them all. And if I would say it back then, a lot of people wouldn't believe me. But now, when I now that I'm in this truth and I understand this truth, I know that is a normal thing. My father also used to be like that. I know he always had multiple wives. So, and and I know for myself, I loved, back in the days, I had all those girlfriends that I had. I loved them all. I loved them all. They all were kind of different. They all had their mannerisms and stuff. But I loved them all. And yeah, sometimes some men function better if they got two women. Maybe if you got like two, then you can get each. Because if you only got one woman, sometimes, like they say, you cannot eat every day spaghetti. That's a fact. But sometimes when you have two women, then you know yeah, you can release some stress, some steam, and you be calmer with your wife. So let me see. First Corinthians chapter 7 and 7. For I would that all men were even as myself, but every man had his proper gift of Yahweh, one after this manner and another after that. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it's good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it's better to marry than to burn. And you marry a woman when you have sex with her. So he said it's better to marry than to burn, you know. So it's better deal with a woman to birth. And you don't necessarily have to take a relationship, you know. The elder apostles also went into it, you know. Elder Apostle Reinlab, I know, and also Elder Apostle Kabar, they went into it, you know. It's better to, sometimes, you know, even nowadays, it's maybe better to deal with a prostitute because, you know, you will bust a nut, you know, and you will relax. And when you're done, you don't have to deal with that female again, you know. But if you have a girlfriend, or if you take a wife, you still have to deal with her. You have to still, you know, you might correct her. You know, those females, there, majority of them, they are not in order, so it will give you some stress, you know. So let me see. But yeah, like you said, you know, verse 9. Let me read again. First Corinthians chapter 7 and 9. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it's better to marry than to burn. And if you burn, if you don't have a woman and you're burning, and the Most High knows, like, okay, you know, you if I give you one woman for a female for a moment, you know, that you can do your thing. I know you need it. You know, the Most High might throw you a bone. Then you have a female for a moment, and then for when he sees, like, okay, you know, you start to lose yourself, then he might take her away, you know. Then he just take her away from you. So First Corinthians chapter 7 verse 10. And unto the married I command, yet not I but Yahweh, let not the wife depart from her husband. You know, nowadays it's normal to break up, but it's not good. By law it's not good, you know. If she really doesn't do the things that you want her to do, then you can let her go. But if a woman, if she want to go, because nowadays they are on that power trip. If she want to go, just let her go. Don't start begging her like, oh please baby, you know, please don't go, don't go. No, don't do that shit, man. Let me see. First Corinthians chapter 7 verse 10. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but Jehovah, let not the wife depart from her husband, but and if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband. And let not the husband put away his wife. So you cannot put your wife away for a little argument, you know. And if you break up, and as long as she will not sleep with another man, it's, you know, it's good to take her back, you know. But yeah, we already know, you know, these females, they so-called start dating, and if they start dating, it means they're gonna have a lot of one-night stands, you know. So it's better to let it, you know. And you know, and even before the kingdom of heaven is gonna be here, you know, the men of the Lord, we're gonna have multiple women to our desire, you know, because we are gonna be the only ones who are gonna be able to protect them from the evil that's about to come on this planet, you know. um, so yeah. Basically that's the point concerning the having a wife. And let me see, this is the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 1. Therefore now is now no command, condemnation to them which are in Yahushai, who walk not after the flesh but after the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in Yahushai had made me free from the law of sin of death. For what the law could not do, in that what was weak to the flesh, Yahweh sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. Yeah, especially men of the Lord, it's important to please the Spirit more than the flesh, because the flesh, that it goes back to Satan, and goes back to the things in the world, and before you know it, you lost yourself in the world. In this world, everything is about outward appearance, you know. They got all kinds of programs, you know, showing you all kinds of stuff, you know. Everything is about adultery and stuff, you know. You should only see, you know, sexy young people on the television, you know. You got a program here in Holland about a female who wants to be a prostitute, and they following her, and they make it seem like how you said it, a beautiful occupation to do, a beautiful job to do. Sick, man. This world is backwards, man. That's why this world need to go, man. Romans chapter 8 verse 4, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh but after the spirit. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to spiritual minded is life and peace. Yeah, because if you're gonna, let's say you find yourself a wife and you start loving her, you are willing to do anything for her. But these females, you got filthy females, man. I remember myself back in the days when I used to go to the club. They gonna play all kinds of tricks. They might have a man. They start flirting with you. Before you know it, you find yourself talking with her. Then then a man rolls up and like, hey, what the fuck are you doing with my woman? Okay, I didn't know that she had a man. Before you know it, you end up in a fight, or vice versa. You got your wife, she start flirting with other men, or she go to the discotheque with a girlfriend. A man touch her ass and this and that. You go into the club, end up in a fight, or you being shot down. Stuff like that. Because nowadays a lot of people they have guns. They start shooting. You end yourself in a lot of troubles. Or you end yourself, or you find yourself killing that female because she committed adultery. You end up in jail. All kinds of those things happen. You beat her up. You go to jail for that. All kinds of stuff can happen. So of course it's better, but like the scripture said, like Apostle Paul said, if it's not good for you to burn either. So it's kind of like, that's why I said, the elders, the elder apostles also spoke on that. It's not a sin to go to a prostitute. If you burn, you can go there and then you don't have to deal with all this nonsense. And in the beginning, it's all everything is always beautiful. If you got a wife in the beginning, everything is beautiful. But after a while, she start bugging out. Especially if you got a virgin, then there's a better chance because she will only have your seed in her. But if you got another wife, she already got so many nuts busted in her. So she gonna, that DNA is gonna fight with each other. So the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 6, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritual minded is life and peace, because the carnal mind is an enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be. So they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh. Yeah, because if you fulfill the flesh, you find yourself doing all kinds of stupid shit. You're gonna lose your balance, you know. So yeah, it's a continual battle, against the flesh and the spirit, because you find yourself skipping a lot of stuff. For example, on Saturday we teach, and after teaching we chill with the Akyam. But if you want to please your wife, you know, you might find yourself like, okay, after the teaching, you're ready to go home because especially if you got a new thing, you want to dive into that. You go home and yeah, basically you only find yourself living for your wife, and that's also not good, you know. And if you deal with a woman too much, you also start to get soft, because you're in that lobby dobby zone, But yeah, like I said, it's not good if you're burning, and don't pray to the Most High for a woman because he might some hey the Most High got some the Most High got humor, he might send some demon to you because you start praying over a woman. No, man, don't pray for that. Pray for wisdom, pray for health, and pray for guidance. Those are more the most important things. Everything shall be added unto you. The Most High knows our hearts. The Most High knows our minds, the Most High knows what we need, So if you really be burning, He will throw you a bone. So this is the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 16. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Yeah, But those demons, they will put thoughts in you and make you focus on your flesh, you know. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that you would. Yeah. When it's time to study, you be chilling with your wife, watching movies on Netflix, this and that, laying in the bed, don't want to get up, calling sick on the job because you want to stay with your wife, stuff like that. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be lead of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Yeah, uh, 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 uh. Yeah, but if ye be lead of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, annoyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Yeah, because if you commit adultery, there's death from that. A lot of these females, they lie. Of course, if they lie to you, it's not your fault. And I remember there's one brother who basically had that. To another brother, he found out that a woman that he was dealing with, that she had a man, even living together. These females, they will lie in your face, because they think it's normal for them to have multiple men. No, they supposed to have one man. From the first time, a man is supposed to take their virginity, and they have to stay with that man until death. And the man also need to keep the woman until death, by law. You don't put her away because of an argument. You have to keep her. Work towards each other. Also, invest in your relationships. Sometimes, and that's also a cut to myself. Because sometimes, I know myself. But yeah, the most I know, I'm not gonna speak too much on that. But I think I've said all that I have saying. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it off. So with that, I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Baharu Kwakadash, a double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace salutations to all the Akyam who doing this work in sincerity and truth. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.